Okay, in this video we're going to get into the different record modes inside Pro Tools. So if you go into the options menu, you can see there's several different choices here. You can also right click on your record button and see your different modes. So notice that normal does not show up in your options menu. You can also go into your transport and pull up by right clicking on your record and see the modes as well. So let's keep it normal right now. What we're going to do is drop the track into record enable. And I'm going to simply hit the 3 key to record some material in. We're going to record the piano. Okay, so I just grabbed some material in real quick. What we're going to do is I'm going to highlight an area, and let's say we want to record over that. So we want to actually do a little bit of a punch in. Now we're still in normal mode. So I want to point out that you can hold down the option key and click before and after. And notice this sets up your orange flags before and after your selection. Now you can go into your transport and you can pull up your pre-roll and post-roll values right here as well. So, but I find it very easy just simply doing the option click and before after the selection. This is much easier to work with. So what we're going to do is hit the 3 key, and before I go into the 3 key or the command space bar or F12, however you want to drop into record, I need to make sure that you guys understand the monitoring mode again. Right now we are in input only monitoring. So if we want to be able to hear what's on the track and then go into punch in and hear what's on the input, we need to be in auto input. So go into your tracks menu and pull up auto input monitoring. Remember that's option K. So I'm going to hit the 3 key right now. So notice that it's not playing anything for a while. But then it comes in later. So if you noticed closely there, I was hearing myself come on the input, but then as it went back to the post roll, it took a while for it to catch back up and actually come through the input buffer and be heard properly. So this is incredibly frustrating. So let's find a different method that works much better here. If we go into the options menu and we choose quick punch, now we have some really cool things we can do. And again, we can right click on this and choose quick punch. Now what quick punch essentially does is it records in the background. So it's actually eating up another track of resources in the background. So now we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to hit Apple Z to undo this and then hit the 3 key to drop into record. Now it's going right into it smoothly. So it's nice and smooth right into the next region very accurately. So you never have a delay between the switching time. So that's a really, really nice feature to have. So I don't have to set my selection though. I could have actually done this by just simply hitting the 3 key. So I'm going to go ahead and turn my pre-roll and post-roll off right now. And I'm going to just show you how that works. I can go in and drop into record. So I'm going to just hit play right now. Then I can hit the 3 key to punch in. I can play whatever I want. And then I can punch out. And I can punch in real time. And then I can punch back out. So you can see that I can do this very efficiently, very quickly switch between my playback and my input if I'm in quick punch using auto input monitoring. So very, very cool. So I'm going to go ahead and put that back in. Let's go ahead and go to a different record mode now. Let's go into destructive. Yikes, pretty scary stuff here. So what happens is, I'm going to go ahead and do it here at the end. And when you drop in a track for destructive, So you can see right now in destructive, we're adding or destroying the original file. So it will completely destroy the material. Now I'm going to go ahead and stop this. And you can see it did not create a separate region. It's still the same region. And if you look in my regions list, it's still just my bold file. So I added to the original file. So if I were to highlight this area and go into destructive record, I would replace that and not have a completely different region. And this is really scary, but you're going to find that there are engineers out in the industry that actually prefer working in destructive because it forces them to make decisions on the spot and decide exactly what they want immediately and move on. And there's some nice things to have about making those quick decisions and moving on instead of having all these features to be able to try different ideas and so forth and get stuck in a rut. But I want to move on. I want to talk about the fourth record mode. If you go into the options menu, you can go into loop record. And loop record allows you to set up an area that you want to play over and over and try different ideas. So I want to be a little bit more specific here. I'm going to hit asterisk and put in 16. And we're going to set this to be at 4 bars. Or let's make it even simpler. Just make 2 bars. And let's put this at 16 again. So we have a 2-bar selection here. And I want to go ahead and hit the 3 key. So you can see right here we got a unique situation. What we have now is the ability to pull up the original audio file. So let's go in here and pull this audio file in. And you can see that as I play back each individual region, I'm playing out back each individual 2-bar selection. Pretty cool. So it's all contained within one whole audio file. It's all back to back in one file. So if I go in here and I hold down the command key, now I have something special. I can switch between all the different takes that I've created. So I can say I want to switch to this version, or I could switch here and go to this version. So basically you have 4 different modes. You've got your normal record mode that has slow switching issues, which you normally don't use. You have your quick punch mode that allows you to punch in very quickly, but you typically are going to use the auto input monitoring, so you can switch between playback and input immediately. And then you have your destructive record that writes over your file immediately. And then you have your loop record. Your loop record is great for like solos. You're going to find that artists love being able to select a phrase and just play a solo over it multiple times and be able to tweak it and get it exactly the way they want.